Hi people, you're welcome back to another interesting tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to make this jumpsuit. For this jumpsuit, I used 3.5 yards of this fabric. This is a crepe fabric. All right. So for this tutorial today, you need your full gown length measurement. You need your shoulder to nipple length. You need your shoulder to waist length. Then you need your hip circumference, waist circumference, and also your bust circumference. And then you're going to be needing this special measurement from your center back to your desired sleeve length measurement. So basically, that is all you need. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do now is just to fold my fabric into four. First, you fold it into two. Then after that, you fold it over into four, such that it's going to accommodate the length that you want. Okay, so let's get into it. So after folding the fabric nicely on the table, the first thing I'm going to do is to divide my hip circumference by 10. So my hip circumference is 43 divided by 10, that would be 4.3. Okay, because I want it to lay flat very well on my V area, I'm going to minus half inch from this 4.3, and that will be 3.8. So I will just say 3.75 because it's easy to locate 3.75 on the tape. So from the beginning of the fabric like this, I'll measure 3.75. That is 3 3/4. Then I'm going to rule it all the way down. Or you can just measure that 3.75 at interval on the fabric from the folded edge or from the beginning of the fabric, like so, and rule it so that you can have a straight line. Okay. So you can see the way I'm rolling it. I'll just roll it all the way. Oh, and by the way, this is your crotch extension. All right. Okay? So the next thing is to rule a guideline, but I didn't do it because I really want this tutorial to be very fast. So I'm just going to start from the beginning of the fabric, and then I'll measure down my nipple points line. My nipple point is 11 inches, so I measure the 11 inches. Then I also measure my waist length. My waist length is 17. So I mark it. Then I extend these lines. So this is my nipple point line. I will just extend it like so. Then my waistline. Then I'll also roll it. All right, so the next thing now is to determine your crotch depth. You know, this is a jumpsuit. So from the waistline, I'm going to measure down my crotch depth. So your crotch depth is going to be your hip circumference divided by 4 plus 3 because this is a jumpsuit. My hip circumference is 43 divided by 4. That will be 10.75. Then I'm going to add 3 inches to it. That will be 13.75. So from the waistline, you measure 13.75. Okay, 13.75, and that is your crotch depth line. Then you are going to go ahead and you will extend this line. Okay, so basically we have ascertained 3 lines here. You have your nipple point, you have your waist length, and then you have your crotch depth. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do now is just to place my French cuff at that point where the crotch depth intersects with the line that is coming from up. At the point where the crotch depth intersects with the crotch extension, then just place your French cuff like this and draw a curve. Can you see the way I'm doing it? Okay, so that is the crotch extension. All right. The next thing now is to measure our desired sleeve length. Okay, so from that line that we ruled earlier from the beginning, can you see? You measure your center back to your desired sleeve length measurement. Whatever that gives you, you just rule it. So you're going to rule it all the way down to the M line. Okay. Okay, so the next thing after ruling this line, you go to your waistline. On your waistline, from that line that you rule, you come in by 3 inches. Then you connect it to your nipple point line like this. Can you see? Then you also blend it down to the crotch depth line. You know that line that we rule for our crotch depth? Yeah, you also blend it down to that point like this. Can you see? All right, basically, whatever measurement you have from your center back to your desired sleeve length, that's exactly the same measurement you have on your crotch depth line. So this style is just simple. It's just like a straight rectangle that was shaped on the waistline. That's all. All right, so the next thing now is just for me to put the neck circumference. Since this fabric is folded into four, so we're drafting front and back together. So for the neck depth for the back, I use 2 inches, and then the neck width is 4 inches. Then I'm going to connect it together like this. Then for the front neck depth, I use 7 inches. Then I'll also connect it this way. Then that's it. I'll go ahead, I'll cut this. So just take a look at the way I'm cutting it. So I started from the crotch extension, then you cut all the way to the top like this. Then after that, I'll cut on the back neckline. Can you see?
With each sip from your lips, you're kissing me dizzy. I fight for composure, but what fun would that be? The punks and the peasants.
If you want it to have pockets, just measure 1 inch below that waistline and you notch. That's where your pocket is gonna sit. And that is it. This is what we have. All right, so I leave the first two panel off this way, then I cut the front neckline. Can you see? So this first two will serve as the front. Then I also slit the inseam. Make sure everything is well aligned before you slit the inseam area. You know, if you don't want this style to have joining on the shoulder, you can actually do that. Depends on how you fold it. Like, pay attention very well to the folding. You know, at this point that I was making this dress, I just want something quick because I had an event to attend and I was already running out of time. So I had to just do quickly. There's a way you can do it and you will not have joining on your shoulder as well as that inseam area. But I cannot process that information right there on my head. So I just had to slit the inseam area as well as the shoulder. All right. So the next thing you have to do now is to process how you are going to snatch the waist area. So locate your waistline. From your waistline, you're going to measure 3 inches upward and then you measure 2.5 inches downward. You can also do 3 if you want. All right. Then you go back to the beginning, mark your half inch that you will use and join this. Then after that, from that half inch, you're going to measure what you have on your waistline, the total thing that you have on your waistline. Don't forget you're going to be joining the side seam too. So leave half, leave one or half, depend on what you want. Just leave one because I think I left one here for the joining of the side. Do you understand? So you will now measure the total thing that you have there. Okay, whatever that gives you, you might not sit from your waist circumference division. Like my waist circumference is 32 divided by 4, that will be 8 inches.
See, this is the same allowance half inch. Then from here to the same allowance on the other side. So I have 18 inches. So my waist circumference is 32. 32 divided by 4, that will be 8 inches. And here, that means I have extra of 10 inches. Okay, extra of 10 inches. So you divide this place to the number of pleats that you want.
All right, so since we have excess of 10 inches on the waistline, you need to eliminate it by creating tuck. You need to eliminate it by creating pleats. Okay, so first of all, I'll divide this circumference that I have here by the number of pleats that I want, but I just measured 2.5, 2.5 at interval. I just did 2.5, and then I'll just rule these lines. All right.
2.5, then another 2.5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So let's see, 8 divided by 6. That's supposed to be 1.3. So that means I'm supposed to have 1.3 here. 1.3.
You know my waist division is 8 inches, right? All All right, so if I'm to divide this 8 inches by this number of line that I rule 6 lines, right? So that's 8 divided by 6, that would be 1.3. Okay, so that means instead of two and a half that I have here, if I want it to be my waist circumference, I'm supposed to have 1.3. So that means I have excess of 1.2. So I will create torque that will eliminate this 1.2. So at each side of the line that I rule, I'm going to sew. I will just hold that line that I rule and I will sew it with 1.2. See, just lift the line up and then you create pleats with it. And you know you are going to do the same thing to all the four sides of this jumpsuit. Can you see the way I've folded it? So just so 1.2, like, then you leave another 1.3, then you pick another line, 1.2, then you leave another 1.3, then you pick another line, like so till you exhaust all the lines. Hope it's clear. Then you repeat this same step to all the four sides of this jumpsuit. You see the way I'm going to do it on the sewing machine. It's very simple. Don't be confused because it's just to create pleats so that it becomes your waist circumference at the end of the day. Even if you don't want to measure and be doing all this division, you can just randomly create your pleats until you have your waist circumference left on the waist circumference area. All right. So, like I said
Simple.
earlier, I slit the shoulder area. My shoulder is not on fold, but if you program it very well, you can have it on fold. So just slit the shoulder, slit the second one. All right, so when I was done slitting the shoulder, I removed the first two, which is the front. I take it out. Then the remaining two, which is the back now, I make sure I align it very well. Then I also locate my waist length. So from the beginning, I just measure down the waist length, which is 17. So at that point, I went in by 3/4 inch and I blend it down and also blend it upwards. So can you see? So that our zip is going to lay flat very well on our back. Can you see? All right. So this is the back now. So next, I use my zipper to measure where I want the zipper to stop at the back. Then I mark it. So from that place, I'm going to stitch all the way to the crotch area. And then this is the front. You're going to stitch it from this neck area all the way to the crotch extension here. So I just managed these pieces to just cut out pockets that I'm going to put on the jumpsuit. Like I said, I use 3.5 yards, so I almost did not have pieces because I just used the whole thing. But I have this cut out. I just manage it to create the pocket. So if you want enough pockets, you may want to buy more than 3.5, because you can see now I just used that small portion that was cut out from that inseam side to just create the pocket. There's a way, it's on fold, so it's able to be like about 7 inches or so. So I just manage it for the pocket. So this style doesn't waste any fabric. You will end up not having pieces at all. All right, so just the way I have explained earlier, I started by using bias to pipe the front neckline first before I even join the center front. I pipe the neckline first. So you turn the bias to the wrong side and then you top stitch. So when you're done piping the neckline with the bias, you place the two sides of the front together like this. Then you're going to stitch the center front all the way down to the crotch extension with half inch. When you're done joining the center front, the next thing is just to start creating your tuck. Just the way I have explained, you just hold it in like this, and you see. Then you sew tuck of 1.2 inches. Now I already roll it. The line will start 3 inches above the waistline and ends 2.5 below the waistline. So just hold it in and then you sew in like that. You're just sewing it straight like this. Can you see? Like you just continue to create the tuck or the pleats. So one done, you leave 1.3 inches before you create another one, and then the width unfold like this as you're sewing will be 1.2. Okay, 1 and 1/4. So you have to work with your own measurements, okay, so that you can know how many you're going to take in as tuck. And note when you're sewing this, ensure this line is very straight because this is not that. So we are not sewing it like that. Okay, we are making it to be straight. It needs to be on a straight line. Okay, so my tuck is 1.2, so I'll sew in my tuck, and before the next one I'll leave space of 1.3. So make sure you do your calculations or whatever thing you want to do. Shall make sure at the end of the day you have your waist circumference on your waistline, and don't forget you will still sew the side seam, so you leave the allowance for that. All right, so my pleat is looking good already, so I'll continue to do this till I finish the whole thing. All right, so here I'm done creating the pleat on the waistline, and I just measure and I'm sure I have exactly what I needed. So here I have my seam allowance together with the half of the waist circumference. All right, so I'm done with the front. I'll keep the front aside, then I'll work on the back. So for the back, I use my zipper to measure where I want the zipper to stop, and from there I stitch the rest to the crotch area with half inch. I'm using half inch as the zip allowance. Next, I'm going to finish the neck area with the bias. Next, I'm going to fix the zipper. So I'm done fixing the zipper. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to measure from the top. I'll measure down the waist length. Then I'll note the waist length. Then I'll come up 3 inches above the waist length. I'll roll a line across like that. Then I'll also measure 2.5 down below the waist length. I'll also mark it. So that is going to be the position for the tuck, just exactly the way we did in front. Okay, just that for that front we already mark it on the table. So this one is still the same thing, 3 inches above the waistline and 2.5 below the waistline. So you roll that point. Then we already know the width of our tuck and the width of the spacing, so you continue to do it. In my own case, the space is 1.3, and then the tuck, when I hold it like this, is 1.2. So I'll continue to sew it.
With each sip from your lips, you're kissing me dizzy. I fight for composure, but what fun would that be? The punks and the peasants who
So when I was done with the tucks, I proceeded to attaching the pocket to exact position where I already notched where pocket is going to sit. So your pocket is sitting right side facing right side, and it's starting from 1 inch below the waistline. So just face the pocket to the four sides of the dress.
tonight will you let me give you all of my heart, all of my heart, show you all of the stars, all of the stars, because I thought I couldn't let.
So after creating the pleats, the next thing now is just to join front and back together at the shoulder. So match them together, right side facing right side, and then from the neck side you join to the other side, and also do the same thing from the neck here, you sew all the way to the sleeve area. Then when you are done with this, you proceed to the inseam. You match it together very well. Make sure the joining aligns properly. Make sure the joining align. You can pin. Then you start from the center all the way to the side. Then you go back to the center again, and then you sew to the other side. Okay, that's the way to do it to achieve a very great result. All right, so I'll go and get that done on the machine.
With each sip from your lips, you're kissing me dizzy. I fight for composure, but what fun.
All right, so when you are done with the inseam as well as the shoulder, the next thing now is to finish the sleeve opening. So just look at the way I'm doing it. Just open it up this way. That sleeve opening, you bend 1/2 inch in and then half again, like so, and then you make your stitch.
Love me, tomorrow forget me. Tonight we
It's just a straight line. So when you're done with one side, you do the second side.
all of my
Here are the seats for the week. These are the wonderful people that engaged with my last post. I love you. A big shout out to every one of you. All right, so if you want to feature in our next video and you want me to give you a shout out, make sure to leave comment for me in the comment section. Tell me where you're watching me from, and if you have any question, don't forget to ask. So the last thing now is just to close the side. I use 1 inch to close the side, so you close the side with just 1 inch.
Cause I feel like you could love me. Tomorrow forget me. Tonight will you let me give you all of my heart, all of my heart, show you.
All right, so when you're done with the side, the last but not the least is just to hem the lower part of the leg. So just hem it with the number of allowance you added to the length measurement.
Flowers, a million flowers, show you my secret powers, my secret powers. Because I thought I couldn't love anymore. But if you want me to, I'm all for you. Tomorrow forget me. But
And that's it, sweet. Our jumpsuit is ready. Can you see? This jumpsuit is so beautiful, it's so elegant, and I love how it turned out. It's so pretty. All right, so if you found this video helpful, don't forget to click the like button and also tell me in the comment section, Yinka, you are sweet. And also tell me where you're watching me from, and I'm going to give you a shout out in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you next time. I love you. Bye. Mwah.
But if you want with each sip from your lips. You're kissing me dizzy. I fight for composure.